almost 80 years now of St. George.
It was back when it was a bank too, not a building society.
Where you could walk in and get helped by people.
And get a little green dragon money box.
And not get taken off to a customer studio. You know, they call them customer studios in the bank. I know, exactly. You know, where it was a sport in Australia to knock the pens off. Do you know what I mean? You had to. You just
they were
go
on chains.
They were
you had
in
to snap the chain.
See, that's another thing as well. What a great colloquialism for they're both St. George customers and their pens. They're both attached by chains to the bank, so to speak. But anyway, let's continue on with the rest of the commercial.
What a great idea! What a great idea! Australia's full of great ideas. What a great idea, St. George!
All right, there it is there, okay?
Okay.
So what a great idea. Now, let's talk about the state of banking right now. Let's talk about the great ideas that they used to have that they've taken away.
Or owning a home, having savings.
Yes. Yeah, they want to get now into your superannuation.
Yep.
They want a hold of that. They expect you to not even come into the bank anymore.
No. Have you seen a bank like branch lately? They're wastelands.
Exactly right. More people go into Centrelink than they go into banks.
Well, yeah, it's Australia's largest bank, I suppose.
And these days, though, and they've got you've got to scream through Perspex to talk to the person because they can't hear you.
Yep, it's like ordering a burger at McDonald's, isn't it?
Now, that's right. Now, listen, your bank, for example, they hassle you all the time saying, "Do you sure you don't want to borrow more money?"
Yeah, they do. They every 6 months or so, I get an email, a call, a letter, a snail mail letter.
Wow!
And it says, "Oi, want some more dosh?"
Yep.
And
you're like, nah.
usually I'm like, nah. I have taken them up on it a couple of times to buy things.
Yep.
But yeah, it's crazy. They're like, if they need to extort money out of me, what are they doing? Like, there's other people with more coin than I do. I'd spend all my spare coin on shiny things in computer games. So
you do, yes.
Yeah.
So let's just think about some of the things that they don't have anymore, like customer service.
What a great idea!
Thank you, Julie. What else? The pens. Now, look, I kind of think that they expect you to bring your own pen in there these days.
Yeah, there's very few pens.
Yeah, but everything's gone digital.
What a great idea!
Thank you, Julie. They got rid of the Dragon from St. George. Now, they just said, what are we going to do with this thing? And they went, just give it to the NRL team.
Yeah.
Let's face it, they're not having much success at the moment. So they booted that off.
What a great idea!
At least she agrees with everything we're talking about here. Yeah, customer service. Look, I think it's gone down. You don't hear of many bank robberies anymore, do you?
No.
But nowadays, these bank robberies come in the form of phone calls. For example, you have been frauding the tax department, and so you owe $8,000, da-da-da. That's how they're ripping people off.
Yeah.
The banks are insured for that, so they don't even have to go in and with a gun and rob it and get hard cash in these days.
No, all the bank robberies are done online.
They're all done online.
Knocking off your credit card number and whatnot.
All that kind of thing. What do you think about that, Julie?
What a great idea!
Well, it is much simpler.
It is very much
You don't
simpler.
have to balaclava up and find a sawn-off shotgun.
No,
You just sit in your like chair and
rent some space in Dubai or Mumbai, wherever it is.
Just hire a couple of Indians to do your dirty work for you.
Exactly right. Exactly right. So I think, though, that you could see this in either two ways. Like back then it was a utopian society. Yet you went into the bank, you had your kids there, they brought in their pocket change in their little bank and they put it in the bank. I used to hate that because I'm thinking, well, why am I giving my money the year? I didn't see long term.
No.
I didn't see long term.
Children don't.
No, well, I want to keep the money for myself.
What a great idea!
Why would I give it to this strange person I didn't know? I used to always kick a shit about that. I used to always kick up a stink about it.
Well, giving away your coin.
To them, like, why can't I have the money on me now? I want it now. Don't give it to them. I want it now.
You know the worst thing about that? Not only do they take your money, they now charge you to count your change. And there's only one bank in our hometown that's got a change counter anymore.
Yeah, oh yes, that's right.
And they charge you for it if you're not a
member,
account holder. And even if you are an account holder, they don't give you the folding stuff when they count it.
No.
They put it in your bank again. Then you've got to go outside to the ATM.
Yes.
Take it out of the ATM, get hit with a fee there. Bastards.
Hitting fees everywhere.
Yeah.
Julie?
What a great idea!
Yeah, so I look, when I look back at all these old bank ads and stuff like that, I'm just thinking, look, it didn't really, it's like they're saying, yeah, let's get a house and we're going to help you get a house and this, that and the other and all that kind of thing. But you're just thinking, well, yeah, you'll let us have the house, but you won't let us forget it. Like mafia, like loan sharks and stuff like that.
You're coming at me every month for a payment, like just off. You've given me the money. I'll pay it back when I've got me dole check. Like, Jesus, just
I don't get banks. I really don't.
no.
Do we need banks these days? Because I know that you're sort of dabbled in the cryptocurrency land.
Yeah.
How many cryptocurrencies are there?
Hundreds.
So what's the point then? What's the point of having these?
See, there was only a few to start with.
Bitcoin being the first.
And then Ethereum and Dogecoin and a couple of others. Dogecoin's now dead, by the way.
Right.
But they took off, right? It's a new thing, took off. Everyone made stacks of money, and then it's the same as anything else. Something makes money, then you get 100 copies of it.
Yep.
And then all of these other coins turned up and, oh, yeah, buy this, it'll go high, blah, 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 blah. And now there's a zillion coins out there. But for me...
How are they going to regulate that? They
You
couldn't.
can't. That's the idea of it. You can't regulate it. You can't track it. Once you pay someone or do a transaction of coins, that transaction's anonymous. You can't track it. That's why it was so good for the dark web, and you could buy your weird shit.
Well, it still is now because people get phone calls. They get forced to take money out at the bank and then insert it into Bitcoin.
Yeah, pay in Bitcoin because you can't trace it.
Yep, telemachines and all that kind of thing, and then off it goes straight away. And they've got these things sitting in plain sight in shopping centres, like, say, for in Sydney, example.
There's
in
only
Melbourne.
a couple.
No, there's more than a couple.
Is there?
Yeah, well,
Oh, okay.
I'd call more than 7 a problem. I would call that a problem. Wouldn't you call that a problem?
Yeah. it
Instead of the
depends if
banks
7 of
ripping you
what.
off, you've got some Romanian asshole, some
Yeah.
40-year-old naked knob jockey sitting in his
But
chair.
honestly, like on the online, if it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. Don't click on those dumb links. Don't throw out your credit card number willy-nilly.
Yep.
Don't look at weird porn. Stay on Pornhub. It's fine. Don't go to those other weird sites. Like, this is my tip of the day.
Stay on Pornhub.
Yeah, because your computer will get herpes otherwise. And when I say herpes, I mean that thing that pops up with a red screen and says, we've stolen all of your shit. Give us Bitcoin.
What a great idea.
But look, honestly, I have a question. I have questions.
Yeah.
What's the idea? Julie never
No.
put it out there. What
So-
is the idea?
Look, anyway, it's like kids running around. There was a kid playing hoop, with the stick and
Yeah,
the
but
hoop.
it was like a then and now kind of thing.
yeah, with the
wasn't
kid
it?
with his ramp rat skateboard.
Yeah, and then it was like when they started 200 years ago, and they had some dudes with like an old school measuring thing.
And a sextant or something.
Yeah, but one dude was in a 2-piece leisure suit. Pretty sure they weren't around when the first fleet lobbed up here.
Nah, not
so
at all.
See, there's continuity errors all through that ad.
I think that's full of dumb ideas.
Well, that was a dumb idea.
It is.
Leisure suits.
Maybe we should have, if they want to show things from the past, why don't they have a commercial where they're basically got bank robbers or,
VHS tapes.
VHS tapes or things that you used to see out the front of the bank, like people begging for money. You don't see that anymore because people just have it on their phone. They don't have any money. Like, you walk past a homeless person, they say, have you got any spare change? You just say, I'm sorry, it's all tied up in Bitcoin.
Yeah, but they're getting smart now. They're pulling out their phone with a little tap reader, and they're like, just 20
Actually, have you seen footage in India
Yeah,
of a
the
guy
guy with
begging
the-
in the street? He's got an FPOS machine
Yeah.
on him.
Yeah.
See, that's good. See, for people begging for change, St. George maybe should be marketing to them. Here you go, get your own personal FPOS machine. What about that, Julie?
What a great idea.
Could solve a whole bunch of problems,
Yeah,
but
it could.
they need to make sure that they do their BAS properly.
Yeah, see. It's hard to do a BAS when you're homeless without pen, paper, or a calculator, really. But look, I just want to say one more thing about the great Australian dream of owning a home. Your quarter-acre block, picket fence.
Kids playing in the
kids
front
playing in
yard.
the front yard. Dad and his mates getting wasted out the back on throwdowns of VB. Like in the 80s.
Throwdowns?
Yeah, well, that's what they have on these ads.
No, longs, mate.
Longs. Oh,
Go the longs.
Hitting the tallies. But look, it would have been a great idea in the 80s when we had an economy, right?
Yep.
Now we don't. We don't have an economy. We basically just pay Gina Reinhardt and Rupert Murdoch to rule us now, realistically. And I think a great idea now to own a home and have nice furniture, a big TV and a job and, all the things you want. About the only way you can do that now is to go down to your local EB Games and buy a copy of the Sims.
That or move to Canada.
Yeah, and just pull up on the Avo toast, you hipster bastard.
What a great idea, St. George.
This is The Burble with Benny and Az.
Speaking of Avo toast, oh my God. The other day, the world lost their shit.
Yes, for a short time, not long ago, there was no way to influence people, Benny. The gram went down.
Oh, the gram.
The gram.
The gram went down. So basically, let's see, people who can't live their lives through normal conversation or human interaction basically were screwed for a day or so. Instagram hit the floor.
And the cries of the millennials and zennials and attack helicopters and all those other people that think putting photos on a social media platform is a job, they had nothing to do for a day. But the funniest thing, and we're just looking at the article here, is Instagram had to tweet that Instagram wasn't working. So they announced the news via tweet. That's great.
Well, they actually did it on Facebook as well. So they brought up on a Facebook branded message saying, look, we're down at the moment. And you know what? People just lost their minds. What are they going to do with all of these photos that they need to do? Like photos of like flamingos or their toast or this, that, and the other. Couldn't get it up and they lost their... It was only for like a morning.
Yeah.
For a morning.
Yeah.
Oh my God, people, get over it.
Yeah.
Don't you have jobs to go to? Commute.
No, that's the problem. It's now apparently a real job to be an Instagram influencer.
It's not a real job.
You get followers and then you say, oh my God, like the iPhone is so much better than Google, and then Apple paid you, and then there was a story about this entitled little that turned up at a bloody hotel. I think it was in Melbourne, like the most hipster place on earth, right?
Yeah.
Turned up at this hotel bloody joint, right? Maybe an Airbnb or some shit. And she rolls up to the front desk and live streams her demanding a discount because she'll tell her 20,000 followers on Instagram that if she doesn't get a discount, this is a shit place and they'll lose business and blah, blah, blah. And I'm an Instagram influencer and Kim Kardashian follows me and blah, blah, blah.
Was there footage of this?
Oh, probably somewhere. It was about a year ago now.
So she turns up to this hotel.
And she Instagrams the whole thing. I'm an influencer. I deserve a discount because I can get you more, publicity and shit. And the bloke just went, off.
Yeah, I would have said that too.
Yeah, it's not a job, people.
No, it's not.
Like, no one cares about your duck face and what you had for breakfast. And if they do, then they're vapid dickheads.
This is what I don't understand. Like, why are idiots just following vapid dickheads, as you say, in this regard? Like, just looking at these photos, like, stop looking down at your phone and live your life, for God's sake. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Like, some people have an Instagram and they will use it, so they go, oh, well, I really don't like Facebook, or I'm not really a Twitter fan, or this, that, and the other, so I'm going to use Insta or Snap, right?
Right.
And could go ahead and use it. But these people who jet down in within themselves and go, I'm going to make some money off this because I'm not any good at anything else. You may as well just go and be one of those impersonators in the mall and shit. You know what I mean?
These people are the Dogecoin of cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Useless trying to make a coin or two.
Millennials these days, and I'm not really picking on because I know some of them are actually quite good at what they apparently do in other areas of life, but they also have a life on Instagram as well. Do you know how easy it is to fake looking rich on Insta?
Oh, what about that chickie, the influencer again in the US that faked going to Coachella?
Yeah.
That was actually pretty cool. That was not a bad
I did
thing.
see that, but these dudes though did a video where they said this is how you look rich on Instagram. So
Right.
they on a Saturday morning they looked at all these really rich houses, say Point Piper in Sydney and like that, who were up for auction, and they had open houses and stuff like that.
I see.
So they went in, they're looking around, and they found a room, furnished, shut the door really quickly, and took photos of him sitting on the bed and stuff, like, just living the best life I can. And then by the pool and all that kind of thing. And people actually do this. They will go to these things and they'll get their mates to take photos of them and stuff like that to make it look like that they're living a rich life.
Yeah,
but they're not. They're just,
Fakes.
Flogs.
Yeah.
Basically, you want to do your blog on Instagram? No, you're a flog.
What a great idea.
Flogstagram.
Flogs. We should start that.
Flogstagram.
Actually, one day
It will go downhill because you know what'll happen. It'll just be dicks.
I reckon that there's better ways to make money. And you don't have to expose yourself at all. For example, as for years, I've been brewing on this idea that I want to start this website, right, where I just take photos of blokes living their bloke lives, but just catching them at awkward moments where they're just like, looking dishevelled or this, that, and the other. And I was going to call it www.lookatthis.com. .au and basically people will log on every single day and they'll get a different every day. And it'll just be like, look at this.
What a great
You could, and then we could start the pink version.